Greetings. A really quick video here. I just wanted to share something I thought that others might find interesting. You see, in the beginning of the 6th chapter of 4th Ezra, which is the work that's called 2nd Esdras in the King James Apocrypha, in that text, in the 6th chapter of that text, there's a reference to the beginning of the world. And interestingly, the King James translation of this text has a marginal note pointing out that the text could also be understood as referring to, quote, the circle of the earth, end quote. And what's at play here is that this is a translation of a Latin text. You see, 4th Ezra appeared as part of an appendix to the Clementine Vulgate, and the Latin text of this verse refers to Initium terreni orbis, the beginning of the terrestrial orb, or the earthly orb, or the orb of the earth. And while the Latin word orbis can mean circle, it can also mean sphere or globe, hence the English word orb and how that's used to this day. And this has actually been understood this way since ancient times. You see, in the 1st century, Gaius Plinius Secundus, who's popularly known in English as Pliny the Elder, wrote in his Naturalis Historia that we might infer that the earth has the shape of a globe from the fact that it is popularly called orbis. It's called an orb. In other words, even in the 1st century of the Common Era, there were Latin writers arguing that calling the earth orbis, calling it an orb, gives the impression that it is globe-shaped, which is to say that it's spherical. And I would argue that before the translation of the King James Bible, there were some who interpreted the Latin text of 4th Ezra that way. More than a decade before the King James Version was published, the Geneva Bible translated terreni orbis as the round world. And with that, I'll close this short video here. As a quick disclaimer, this video was not intended as an argument about the canonicity or inspiration of 4th Ezra, nor is the argument here that you have to defer to this text or this particular interpretation of this text. I just wanted to share some interesting notes about the Latin text, how it might be understood, and how it has been understood. And I hope you found this interesting. As always, I welcome any comments, questions, or criticisms, and God bless.